Look closely. Every time conflict rises inside your team, inside your company, inside your own head, what happens? Frustration, anger, division, the unbearable tension of people pulling in different directions, your ideas clashing like thunder, your energy bleeding away in endless battles that seem to solve nothing. You feel it, don't you? That gnawing pain when trust breaks, when voices shout louder instead of thinking deeper, when the very tension that should spark something great just burns everything down instead. Conflict isn't your enemy. It's your most brutal, unforgiving test. And if it breaks you, it will burn everything you built to ashes. But here's the truth you're starving for. Conflict can be the fuel that lights a raging fire of creativity and breakthrough, if, and only if you know how to harness it like a leader who refuses to lose. Stop swallowing the lie that conflict means failure, that people disagreeing means your leadership is weak. This is the prison, the cage of comfort and easy peace that kills growth slowly. Conflict, raw and sharp, is the beating heart of any powerful team daring to remake the world, anything worth building beyond status quo. If you run from conflict, you run from progress itself. So stop running. Grab conflict by the throat. Own it. Make it your weapon, your launch pad. Here's step 1. Change how you see conflict. This is not a problem to fix or avoid. It's a signal, a beacon screaming that something vital is alive but blocked. When people clash, their minds aren't broken, their perspectives are different, and that diversity is your greatest asset. Don't ask your team to agree or be silent. Demand they bring their fiercest, wildest, most uncomfortable truths to the table. Refuse to let anything less than brutal honesty survive. Only through the raging storm of conflicting ideas do new, unseen paths open up. Step 2. Set the battlefield rules that release creativity instead of burying it. Create sacred ground where conflict is not chaos, but a controlled explosion. This means ruthless respect for the idea, not the ego. Force your team to attack the problem, not each other. Train them to listen so deeply they hear what's behind the words, the fear, the desire, the unspoken truth driving each person's fight. Teach them to ask why 5 times until the real root of the conflict bleeds out. Without digging past surface noise, your conflict will always be a swirling mess, a loop of frustration that eats your soul. Step 3. Make conflict the engine of creativity by demanding radical collaboration on solutions, not just debates on problems. When voices rise, take the raw material of their chaos and force the team to remix it into experiments. No opinion is untouchable. Every right answer is temporary. Burn down the walls of certainty relentlessly. Push your people to prototype the wildest ideas born from their clashes. Fast, messy, imperfect. In this bloody battlefield, creativity is a war dance, brutal yet freeing. But here's where most leaders fall. They stop the conflict as soon as it looks ugly, desperate to bring false calm. Don't do that. Step 4 is counterintuitive and terrifying. Cultivate conflict endurance. Teach your people it's okay to sit in discomfort longer than they want. Force them to wrestle longer. Let the tension rise and twist until something real, hot, and powerful surfaces. This is the fire where true innovation is forged, but it only happens if you refuse the urge to smooth things over too soon. The world is not gentle. Your leadership cannot be soft. Step 5. Own your own emotional fire. Leaders, your people watch how you handle conflict like hawks. If you panic, avoid, or put on a fake smile, they will collapse into submission or explode into rebellion. Everything you feel in those moments, fear, anger, exhaustion, let it fuel your clarity, not cloud it. Stay present in the tension like a warrior. Show that conflict is not a threat, but a sacred tool you wield with fierce calm. When your team sees that you can hold the storm without breaking, they will follow you through anything. Your emotional mastery is the spark that turns conflict into creation. And one final brutal truth: conflict that unlocks creativity never happens in isolation. It is forged in a culture that honors difference as a core value. You must build a team that doesn't just tolerate disagreement, but craves it, that doesn't conform to sameness, but thrives on challenging one another to be sharper, bolder, freer. Diversity of thought, background, experience. This is non-negotiable. Without it, conflict becomes noise, not breakthrough. Your job is to hunt down the silenced voices, the uncomfortable thinkers, the outsiders who ask the questions nobody wants to hear. Make them your allies. Protect the friction they create because it carves your path forward. The leaders who learn to wield conflict like this don't just build companies, they ignite movements. They spark revolutions of creativity that break old rules, shatter comfort zones, and blaze new realities into the world. This is how you transcend the mediocre systems built to process and control people, and instead, craft autonomous networks of power and possibility. Right now, you might be feeling that familiar sting, the gnawing urge inside that there's something more to do, that your team deserves something beyond simple peace, beyond shallow agreement. That deep, unbearable tension inside you, the one telling you to tear down illusions and rise higher, that's the call to action. Lean into that fire. Do not water it down. Harness conflict mercilessly and watch it tear open the prison walls around your thinking and around your team's potential. Yes, it will hurt. Yes, it will push you and everyone around you to the edge. But that edge is exactly where creativity, breakthrough, and true leadership live. Demand brutal honesty. Insist on fierce respect. Force relentless listening and radical collaboration. Stay calm in the storm like a rock. Treasure diversity like it's your lifeblood. Teach endurance when conflict tempts you to quit. This is the only way conflict becomes your greatest asset. The only way your leadership will blaze a path no one else sees. The world doesn't need more leaders who avoid conflict. It needs leaders who master it. Leaders who use every clash as a spark to create, to disrupt, to build something no one believed possible. Fighters who embrace the chaos and shape it into unstoppable force. This is your moment. Stop fearing conflict and start commanding it. Unlock creativity during the storms, because that's how you lead beyond all limits. Get ready to take the fire.